Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'll be trying to finally get the lower half of this engine put together. Stay tuned. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this seal for the PTO side, get some grease, and put it on the inside of the seal to make it slide into place easier. Now you see that the grease is inside there. So now next thing you need to do is install it on the crankshaft. And to put it on the crankshaft, what I did was I just slid it on there and it just pops right in for me. Maybe. I'm gonna set the camera down and try and get this in. Now what I did to fully seat it was I took this 3/8 drive extension and just like put it on the edges and just tapped it with a hammer, and it just went right into place like it should. Next is the pull start side. So what I did to get this seal in was I had to heat up the casing with a heat gun a little bit so this could sit in there, and I had to push it in with that extension again so it sat down in there properly. And with that, with the water pump, I took, where'd it go? Some Permatex Ultra Blue silicone gasket maker and put a layer on top. It went gasket sealer, gasket, and gasket sealer again to put on there. So I think the cover to put on this is about to be put on. It actually turns out I got ahead of myself, and what you need to do before you put the cover on, you need to take this collar, which I already put an O-ring down inside there if you can see it. And you're going to take your collar and you want to try and get it to sit all the way into that seal. So what you can do is you can take an old bearing, or not that one. You can take an old bearing and like just tap it in, so you can get it set in there. So I'll come back when that's ready and done. After that's in place, you want to take your Woodruff key and set it in the hole for it. And make sure it's centered like that. Then you want to take your gear and you want to put it on there so it lines up with the Woodruff key. And there's a timing mark. It's hard, it's not there. It is right there. And you want to line it up with the timing mark on the counterbalance shaft. So once you find those, you can push that in. So as you can see on the camera, there's that clean gear, which you can't really see the dot very well, but that's one timing gear, and that's the other timing gear on the counterbalance shaft. So now what you want to do is take your washer, set it on there. You will put that there. There will be an O-ring to sit on there. Let me get that O-ring. Oh, wait, there'll be an O-ring. Then a bearing will just slide. Well, actually, before you put the washer on, you want to put on this bearing sometimes you might need to heat it up, but it just slid on. So you want to, after that bearing goes on, you'll want that bearing, that washer, and the collar, then this nut. So then I'll come back when this nut's about to go on. So before you install this, put this collar on, you'll want to put this gasket on, then you'll want to get this cover, have this ready to be put on. Set you down for a second. Okay. You just want to line it up with your water pump, bolts, it should just pop right in there. I'll be back in a minute. Once you have all this snug down, you want to get these torqued to 19 foot-pounds and the water pump bolts and these small bolts to 72 inch-pounds. After you have those torqued, you want to take this last seal and put it in there. And you want to put grease around the insides of it again. So when you put this collar in there, it will sit in there and seal fine. And then once you have all that in there, all that set on there, you're going to take this and torque it to 29 to 49 foot-pounds. I'll show you me torquing that in a minute. I got my torque wrench set, and I had to make this tool to screw on the nut. So you want to make sure, yeah, it's at 49 foot-pounds of torque to torque that in, and yeah.